I'd love to maybe take a step back and think through maybe some of the SEO that I think people think about right now, which is creating content so people search, you come up in the search results. Um, how do you think about that with respect to like UX, right? So I think a lot about user experience as a function of SEO. Can you talk a little bit about, I guess, like your thoughts on how those two are related?
Yeah, for sure. The easiest way I would compare it is like you're at a war with Google for how to keep users on your site just like they are, right? So if you're going into SEO and content marketing like an owner's mentality, you're thinking to yourself, every click counts. Every single time I get rewarded with a click from Google, I need to do my best job possible to retain that user, expand the amount of times that they would want to come back to our site and continually engage with us. Because I think it's clear in the data that I've analyzed, but the days of like just jamming as much traffic into a landing page that never converts, I think are over. And you mentioned before, like pogo sticking, how that impacts everything. I would think really deeply about like, how do I create an offering for my brand that appeals to this person at every aspect of their journey? So like a great way to do that is to create really, really good content that attracts somebody there. But once they get on the site, what are the types of things they might be interested in as a next step, and how do you cater to that intent, right? So a good example is, I'll give you an example from previously from Drift. So we would test all the time, like offerings to learn more content from our insider offering. We would test like sign up for a demo, like all the traditional things. But ultimately, our goal was just we need to create a conversion so that we can then surround them with content and keep them coming back over and over and over again. That drives that relevance and that sort of like brand affinity. But what we're doing at Phrase specifically is we're basically building this sort of AI in the background. So we have two different tools. We have content that drives people to the site, but we also have these UX tools where once somebody gets on the site and they have natural next questions that might be related to that topic, how do you understand what those are? And number two, deliver them so that people can continue their path. Those are just a good example of like how you would think about SEO, or like how you would think about content as like a product owner. Your brand is your product, and you want to create like an offering that like touches every aspect of their intent. So that's the best way I would describe it. Yeah.